Welcome back. We're going to continue on with this PS4 Fat with no USB working. So I've pulled the motherboard out and we're going to try and track this through, and hopefully we should be able to get this one up and running. So stick with us, and I'll just transfer the view onto the monitor here so you can see what we're doing, and show you how I track this one through. Back shortly. Okay, so what I've done, I've got this USB stick, I've soldered a wire onto it. I'll show you why I soldered the wire onto it in a minute. But pin 1, we know there's a 5-volt rail supposed to be on there. So when we plug this into the port, we'll plug it into the port. Okay. So pin 1 should have 5 volts on it, and it has it, but we don't know where. We don't know what pin, this pin 1, we don't know where it is on this board. Here's a USB port here, okay, there are all your points. We don't know where pin 1 is on this side, and it's on this side of the board. It goes underneath, it disappears. Alright, it disappears, and we don't know where it goes, what it does, where, what, how, whatever, okay? So we're going from scratch here. Okay. Pin 1, where does it go, what does it do? We don't know. Solder the wire onto there, which enables me to measure from here . Point 0.40, which is close enough to a dead short. So pin 1 goes to there, but as you see, there's no track. It's double-sided board, so it actually it's connected from the other side of the board. Okay, so that's why I've got the wire soldered on there. So we'll go back around here. So where does that pin 1 go? Up here? So I'm measuring from the wire again. Makes it easy to find pin 1, we know where we are there. Aha! Pin 1's going to there, which is a capacitor, positive, negative, has a rail, that's positive rail, okay, positive. If you have a look, it's a mirror image. Got the same capacitor over here, so that pin there would also go to the pin 1 on here, so that's our 5-volt rail. 5 volts is coming in, out of here to there, but how does it get to there? Well, all we have to do is find out where that pin there goes, and if you have a look, there's a fuse. See that X20, W20? There's a fuse there, there's a chip, and if we have a look over here, mirror image, okay, fuse, chip. Okay, now if you have a look, both of these legs are shorted together by the track, so that's all one track. Both of those are shorted together by a track, okay. Same here. Now I've already checked these fuses, and these fuses read okay. We can measure those, they should read as short, and that's working. So the fuse is okay. This device powers USB. How do we know that? Well, pin 1, which we worked out earlier, goes from there, and if we measure to the output, there, that's a short. So that point there is your 5-volt rail to here, which is to your USB port. How does it get there? Well, it comes in via the fuse here. It comes in via here, and then goes out to here. But it can't go out until this device gets a signal. How does it get a signal? Well, one of these pins is an input. So as soon as an input comes in on here, this is like a gate, opens up, allows a 5-volt to go to the USB port. So you're not going to have both of these faulty on both sides, so both ports aren't working, so both of these chips have to be okay. There will be no input coming in on this device. Now, where does the input come in on this device? Well, I'm saying it's possibly one of these points here. One or two of their points there. And where do those points go? Well, they in fact go over to this GL device. GL3520. There she is. Now that GL3520, if we do a quick check on the data, which I'll back shortly, I'll just go and look this up. Okay, so I've got the specs up on the GL3520, and I've looked that up, and it's this pin 86 is a 5-volt rail, right, which is the output. The output from that will go to the input of this regulator here. Input of that. It's actually got, there's actually two inputs. They're shorted out. That's the output. That's the input. Input. 5-volt in. Output. Earth. That's the signal in to switch this device on to allow this gate to flow. So basically all your current will go through this, through your 5-volt rail from your power supply, through here, through there to USB. Because that GL3520 hasn't got enough power to run the USB on its own accord, you burn that out. So by using a separate regulator and a power supply, we're just using the GL3520 to switch this device on, which will pass the voltage through to USB. Okay. So what we're going to do now is we're going to replace this GL3520. And now I haven't got a new one. I haven't got a new one, but I pulled one off another board. So I pulled one off another board. So a bit of a scratch mark in there, but it's superficial, so it hasn't damaged it in any way, shape or form. All our pins are intact. So I'm going to come back shortly, clean this up, and we'll then move that GL 3520 off this new good board here, and then hopefully this should boot up. Back shortly. Rightio, see if we can get this baby off. Got one tweezers. Rightio, so we get this baby off. I've put a bit of tape around there to stop the heat affecting all my other components. Now these take a bit of getting off because you've got like a heatsink in the middle here, which is also soldered to the board, so take a bit of getting off. Okay, give a bit of heat in that motherboard, which is going to come off a lot easier. Just put the airflow up a bit. Right, I've just gone up, I've just up this tip size. Yeah, just up the tip size so I can try a bit more heat in this thing. And there we have it. She's off. A bit of that getting off too. Bit of heat in there. Just take a break, I'll be back shortly. Rightio. Just want to clean up the centre. You want it fairly flat. You don't want a lot of solder in the middle because it'll set up and you're going to have trouble aligning your legs up. I've done retimer chips in Xbox Ones and Xbox One X's and stuff, and it's a very similar chip to this, so you just got to be a little bit careful. So we're going to what we're going to do, we're going to put a bit of flux in the centre. Like so. And that's enough flux and solder there for us to get a chip on. Yeah, you've got to clean up this old one. clean. Put a little bit of lead 3 solder on the outside. Lead solder, I should say. Okay. Yeah, let's make sure we get this thing in the right way, of course. So she goes on that way. That's about where it's got to sit. So not easy, not easy. Yeah, am I happy with that? I'm just going to have to check the alignment with a closer view, so I won't be able to show you on that how I'm doing that, so that I'll back shortly after I get this fully aligned. Okay, what I found was the flux on the back of here, when I heat it up with the iron, quite crystallised and lumpy. So after I've soldered all these, I've now scraped all the old flux, crystallised flux off and cleaned it up with a brush and a bit of shellac and got all that clean, okay? And then I've done the same to the base. Because the flux is actually hardened, it's got lumpy, and it's not making it sit nice and flat on that board, so you've got to have a really nice flat fit. Flat fit? Yeah, something like that. Anyway, so now, I just got to get my camera ready in. Double zoom in. So while the flux is liquid, it's fine because it's flat. But once you solder it, it hardens up and it crystallises and it's lumpy. So now I've got a nice clean surface to work with. You find that this lines up so much better. It's flatter. It's beautiful. Okay, so now I'm just going to put a little small amount of flux. Not just what's basically on the end of the tip. Now that should float around better because it's not relying on the hard lumps of the old flux. And after I'd finished just touching that up. Just got to go back because it's got the power supply pins. I can't sit the board flat. It's just giving me a little bit of grief, a little bit of problems, but never mind. Can't get the right angle here going. Just this back side I'm not happy with. I just can't quite get a good view on it. Right, yeah, I've got all that lined up. And all I'm going to do now is reflow this. I've had to do it again because my camera actually cut off. The battery went flat, so, but I've actually already flowed this. So all you have to do is keep holding your chip still, even heat all around. Make sure it doesn't move, and as it takes, you'll see your flux on the outside start to bubble, and then you'll see your solder tracks will suddenly solder up. Okay, so that's all you got to do is finalise all this. Let him cool down. Hopefully she's fixed. That second-hand chip. So hopefully this should be fixed. What I'll do, I'll get this reassembled and hopefully that'll work. But I've done those chips before. The retimer chip, the HDMI retimer chip in an Xbox One X. With those chips, you must have them very flat. If you have a bit of flux under there, it's lumpy, there's like the original flux that you didn't clean off that's then cured, gets hard and the chip doesn't sit flat and you'll have trouble lining it up. So I've been able to get one that's nice and flat by removing the old chip, resolding all the points, cleaning the flux off, and then putting new flux, and then make sure the chip all fully aligned in all directions, holding the chip firm, and then reflowing it, and keep the heat on until you can see the flux start to bubble, and you'll see actual solder melt, and you'll see it take. Okay, so I'll get this assembled, and hopefully it's going to work. Back shortly. Okay, welcome back. We're going to see if this PS4 Fat is going to work or not. Just turn him on. Got my test USB. Plug that in. Multimeter. DC bolts. 5 volt. There we have 5 volts. She's working. She's working. Plugged our controller in. All working. Oh yeah. Yep. Woo. Check the other port. We better plug this back in and make sure I've got 5 on there. DC volt. Yep. So she's all working, so there you go. We pulled off a second-hand GL52, whatever it was, 50, blah 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 blah. We pulled off that chip off that second-hand board and put it on. Yeah, GL3520. Yeah, so we pulled that chip, the GL3520, off an old board, put it back on this board because I didn't want to wait 6 weeks from China. Put it on, bang, she's working. So $99 repair, all completed. So thanks for watching. Please subscribe. See you next time. Bye.